Hey, everybody. Welcome to the HIT.OR.DIE podcast live with your hosts, Jake Saldati and Chad Rothford. We are not over. We are here.
I know you.
It's not as frequent.
You went to that party and people were like, "Hey, is the podcast done?"
Yeah. It was Bobby Kahn, big supporter of us.
Bobby. Shout out,
He's
Mr.
like,
Kahn.
"Oh, Jake's doing another podcast. Are you guys done?" And I was like, "No.
Yeah, no, we're not done.
Not done.
We're not done at all. Not even close. That's kind of just a side project, man. Filling some time is different. But absolutely not done with HIT.OR.DIE. Episode 149. Baseball's underway. College baseball fired up last weekend. And the Dogs started 2022 with a sweep over UC Riverside. Dropped the midweek game to Cal Poly. Currently 3-1, and they'll be in San Diego this weekend at the Tony Gwynn Legacy. Today, Friday, open up against Utah. Tomorrow, Saturday, they'll play San Diego and finish Sunday with Hawaii. And then Tuesday, their midweek game is at Bakersfield. So that'll be fun to check that out. Bakersfield Roadrunners, currently 1-2. They had one postponed. Their midweek game this week was postponed. Not sure why, but they're at home this weekend hosting Kansas State, and will host Fresno State again. Host Fresno State Tuesday night in Bakersfield. I believe that's available on ESPN Plus, and I think they have they stream their stuff as well. For tickets there, you want to go to GoRunners.com, and they'll give you the schedule, game time. Same with Fresno State, GoBulldogs.com for schedule information. FPU, who's been playing pretty well. They're currently 7-3, won 7 of the last 8 games, headed to Hawaii for like a 2-week road trip.
Yeah.
There was an opportunity maybe for you to go there too, right? And there was, I think you were saying that trip's like 10 days, 12 days long, something like that.
Yeah. After I left Madera and didn't get the Buller job for some reason, I wasn't going to coach, but then I was talking to Hirschkorn, trying to get in the college game. And it was a real possibility, but my daughter was going to be born that year, which she's here with us today.
Yeah, we got a little guest today. If you hear any little noise in the background.
And it just was going to be a little bit too much time away from the family. Yeah. And so I decided not to. So which Hirschkorn, respected my decision and told me, if I ever wanted to try to go back there, he'd, see what happens. Anyways, went to Clovis West, and then
now back with the Rams.
Back where I'm kind of belong.
Full circle where you started with. But yeah, FPU 7-3, headed to Hawaii for a couple weeks versus Hawaii Hilo and also Hawaii Pacific. They won't be back home until March 18th. They'll host Academy of Art for a couple doubleheaders that weekend. Go to FPUathletics.com for their schedule as well. I saw a lot of schools post attendance records for last weekend. We kind of talked about this. Tennessee broke their home record last weekend. Mississippi State had 34,000 plus for the weekend hosting Long Beach State. That's insane.
Yeah. That's like, super regional type atmosphere right there.
And then I saw Cal Poly posted after their game against Fresno State. They were top 2 in the state for California. I think it was Stanford was 1.
No, I think Cal Poly was 1.
Cal Poly was 1.
Stanford,
and then Fresno State was 3. Which you went Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
I was there Friday night for the opener. Jake Dixon got the start there. It looked good. Didn't play the cleanest game, I think, but obviously a home opener, you know what I mean? It's the opening night. Did get the sweep that weekend. And then Clovis West alum Eshawn Henderson was real good Saturday. The Dogs
12 punchies.
Dogs put up some big runs there. And Sunday,
what kind of staffed it Sunday? I think the starter went 2 an inning, maybe an inning and 2. He went 2 innings, I think. And then they kind of staffed it the rest of the way. But they look good. They look good at the plate. Look good on defense. Josh Labendera's clone at shortstop is
yeah, you mentioned that.
I mean, it's spitting image of Labby, but great defender. Nice to see Peyton Allen there. I coached against him last year at COS, and he's a great baseball player, so it's nice to see him. Was there for Timian's first homer of the year. Shout out to his mom. I know his mom's a listener of ours, and she's probably like, you need to go to the next one, because it seems like every time I'm there, it's a home run.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was just good to see. It's good to see baseball back. Morgan is actually number one in the state, and not number one. He's number one in Division I in doubles.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's a lot of fun to see baseball back. Fresno State's good. Go out there and support them, man. I mean, there's nothing like, going out to Biden at Bob Bennett Stadium, or whatever it's called.
When we pulled in Friday night, I was like, man, this is the parking lot was pretty crowded, and going last year a lot, especially to finish, we went a lot. It was never like that, so to see some people packing the stadium was great.
Yeah.
Good crowd, lots of chatter. It was cool to see. I mean, just to see all the college baseball love that it got this weekend.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned it recently, we need more games on TV, and it looks like ESPN Plus is going to carry a ton of baseball. So I think it's like $6.99, but you're talking about thousands of games if that's the case. Bakersfield, it looked like everything Bakersfield's got is going to be on ESPN Plus, available on ESPN Plus. So I would definitely look into that. But it's just nice to see people going out to some college baseball games. And I think with what's going on in Major League Baseball, assuming it doesn't get any better, and it looks like it's not, that's the way to go. And then not just state. I mean, Fresno City, you guys are battling Reedley College this week, split the series so far, 1-1 at home Saturday at 1:00. And it's a huge series. It's been a big game so far for being 10 games in.
Yeah. We've played a tough schedule, I think. But we have great pitching. We have good offense. Our defense is good. I think we have all three aspects of the game that can take us to another CVC title and possibly a run at the state. But sometimes as baseball happens, you play down to your competition a little bit. And I feel like you having a great 4-game set against Hartnell, and then, swept Sac City 2, which I think has one of the top pitching staffs in the state of California, without a doubt. They were unbelievable. All the guys, up 80s, low 90s with some nasty off speed, and we got after them. And then, we come to face, Reedley at home to start league play. And, you face a guy that, didn't really pitch in high school, and he's got some average stuff, but it just gets it done. And, when you don't come to play,
hey, sometimes that's happens. Even more effective. I've noticed that. And you've said it a million times. You'd rather see a guy throwing, 90 plus than a guy throwing, mid to low 80s, even with some good movement that can, manipulate.
I think when you have to just react.
Yeah.
It's easier. It takes the thought process out.
Well, I think guys that tend to throw harder, they love that pitch. That's their pitch. If you're throwing 95, 96, why would you not love that pitch?
Yeah, you're going to challenge guys.
Right. So for some guys, and Lappin even said it, that those guys for him were easier to hit.
Yeah.
And that may be the same for a lot of guys. So, but again, Saturday, you guys battle it out for the final game of that series. Looks like a couple Madera guys might be on tap to get some starts, which is always, for me, I love to see. And Dylan Lewis, dude, one of the hottest hitters in the state, if not the country right now. D1 or JC, doesn't matter.
I
know you had the kid from North NC State hit like 5 bombs over the weekend, but
yeah. Dylan, I told him this the other day. I haven't seen a swing like his ever in my coaching career. And the amount of time he's in the zone and on plane is absolutely ridiculous. And he's so strong, and he has so much power, but he's also hitting for a high average, and he's using the whole field, which is really big, especially going to the next level.
Well, where have his home runs been?
So he's got 5. He's played in, I think with 12 games, that he's played in 11 of the 12. He's got 5 homers. And his first home run, he hit the left center, and then the next 4 was from center field over to right field. He's actually got, I think, 3 to right field and then 2 to right field, 1 to right center, and 1 to dead center. So, but he's got stupid pop. I mean, he's hitting balls out to right field that like a lefty would hit. It's insane. He's absolutely strong, and I think somebody's going to jump on him. He's going to get good looks right now, and I'm excited because when I talk about swing, you know me, I'm talking about swing. You've never really heard me talk highly of a hitter as I've done him, and it's impressive. It's impressive.
And before games started, I mean, I'll just say, like, before you guys started playing games, you were telling me like this kid's got a D1 type swing. He's just a D1 player. So it's awesome, man. It's awesome to see him have success. And you guys, the funny stat with the Rams right now is you're undefeated on the road.
Undefeated on the road. Yeah, and all four losses at home.
It's crazy.
So I don't know, man. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like,
hey, that's hard to do. That's hard to do.
But I mean, I get it and I don't get it. Like, as a coach, when you're on the road, you don't have like coaching, right? When you're at home, you have to do the field. You have to get the field ready.
Right.
You take BP, you put it up, you take it down. When you're on the road, you just show up and you just hit and you get ready for the game. And I think as the players, they kind of feel that a little bit too, but I mean, to win at home, being a Ram is big. That's our ballpark. Nobody comes into our place and gets dubs. And I feel like we're gonna have a big one Saturday and continue this going strong. So, every win's a new record for us, and that's what we're kind of going on, and just trying to step up our game and try to play like we can and not down to the other opponent.
Yeah. And that's, that's also another thing with Coach Person, not to say that they're not talented, but he can do a lot but maybe not the best talent all the time. He's just a great coach, and that staff's done a great job. You got West Hills, I think, knocked off Modesto yesterday, and then back at Modesto today. And then I think COS knocked off Porterville.
Yeah. And Taft took one from Merced so far.
So Saturday's a big game. If you're available, I think the Dogs are out of town. I know there's some high school baseball. SenCal, the showcase is going on this weekend here in the Valley. A lot of good games there, by the way. Today's a good one with Central opening up, hosting Tulare Western, 2 big, D1 arms going that one. Memorial's playing today. I think Clovis West tonight opens up with Liberty. So some good high school action. But I think if you're around Saturday, 1:00 at Fresno City, go out there and check out the Rams host Reed College Tigers, and which would be a good game. Series tied up at 1 apiece. Mentioning some high school stuff, again, a lot of teams opening up today, their 2022 season. And I just haven't seen enough. I've been enjoying my time away from the field, if you believe it or not. I haven't been out there much, but I can give you a top 2 without question.
Yeah.
And Buchanan for sure, I got to throw at the number 1 spot, only because they're defending champs.
Well, and they beat Liberty.
Twice. But they're good, man. They're a good team. You can't ever count out Buchanan ever. But I feel like Stockdale's number 2 without, and you can flip flop them.
I think
they're the most complete team.
I think it's a 1A and a 1B.
Yeah, I agree with you. And just talking to scouts, talking to other coaches that I've known that's seen them, the word is that Stockdale's the most complete team.
Yeah.
With Charles on the bump, I think they got another guy.
They got 3
guys. Yeah.
Featherstone, or
is it shortstop? Or no,
I don't know. I know they have 3 guys that are 90 plus.
It's great.
In high school, that's I know.
Well, and then I've heard from top to bottom lineup wise, they're also solid.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's a debate at shortstop who's the best in the Valley. I mean, I kind of think arguably Cutter Coffee is probably the best shortstop in the Valley.
Yeah, I would.
Arguably, I'll say that. I'll preface it with that. But there's a lot of good players. But I mean, the guy's pretty proven so far. We'll see. I mean, like I said, the SenCal showcase this weekend, lots of good high school baseball. Again, 1A, 1B is probably the better way to say it.
Yeah. And
Buchanan, Stockdale, I think are the 2 teams it's going to come down to. I would not be surprised in the least if it went through Bakersfield and Stockdale wins the Division I section title. But again, the Bears are always good. They've been there. This team's been there. They've played in those games. They're not new to those moments. And it's a top-notch coaching staff that knows how to win. So, I mean, it's going to be fun, especially if it's those two teams. I'm going to love it.
Yeah.
But I mean, beyond that, you know, Bullard's pretty good ball club. I would say they're top 5. They're young as well. And Schneider, I'm sure, is going to be their horse.
And he's only a junior.
And I wonder how much he can be pushed. But I love the kid, man. And he's a fantastic player.
Yeah.
Fun to talk to, fun to watch. I've been lucky enough to watch him last year. We chatted a bit, and just a good kid. But C-Dub too. I like Clovis West. They're young. I'm not sure. They're a little unproven, but they might be sneaky as well. And I wouldn't put it past them to make a run. Either way, whatever experience they get out of it, that's going to be a good team, especially even going next year and going forward.
I think the question with Clovis West is, who's your number 2?
Yeah.
You know, Beza, obviously the Fresno State commit, mid to upper 80s guy, good slider. He's going to be their guy. But who's going to be your number 2? I feel like defensively they're good. I feel like offensively they'll be good. But you know as well as I do, you need 2.
Oh, absolutely.
You need 2 guys to take you to the promised land. And you know, they have one for sure. I don't know who. I know Bradley Senaway's cousin was a up and coming young guy. I don't know if he's going to be there too, or who they have in the 2 spot. But I think that's the big question for Clovis West.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Tyler could be a dude.
Yeah, Patrick.
I mean, Tyler's.
That's my bad. Never mind.
That's what I'm saying, right?
I mean, you got a sophomore that's, you know, in the mid to upper 80s too, that throws a good curveball and stuff. So scratch that.
And he attacks the zone. Like I would not be surprised to see those guys. They have some returners out on defense. But Haros is back too, right?
Yeah, Haros is back.
So
I mean,
and then Munster.
Maybe they do have
you got Munster that
they do have a 2-headed Munster. So, they have a 1-headed Munster, but then a 2-headed Munster.
Hey, Fresno State. You got Murph Gray, Cam Schneider,
I'm telling
Munster, right? You've got was it Ruby at Buchanan? Like, there's some. Who else is Smith?
Mandel.
There you go. Mandel's who it was.
Schneider. Did you say Schneider?
Schneider, yeah.
I mean,
and then Murph Gray. I think I said Murph.
I love to see this because
you go get a guy like Dylan Lewis there too. Is a transfer?
I sent him the info.
Let's go.
I know he can be tough enough.
The dogs could be freaking fun to watch, man.
Hey, I don't know. I grew up. Fresno State's the only place I wanted to go. It was the only place I wanted to go. Unfortunate, it didn't happen.
Right. Yeah.
And you know, I just went where I could. But I feel like growing up in this area, I think everybody gets too caught up in the Power 5, the Big 12, the SEC, you know, all that kind of stuff. When you're in Division I baseball, you get seen by everybody. You play against everybody, you get seen. You're not going to not get seen less or get seen less at Fresno State than you would at Alabama or Vanderbilt, or, you know, I mean, you're still going to be seen. But to be able to play at home in front of your family, I always wanted that. I wanted to be able to, you know, especially my dad went there and he had the home run record at one point, and I wanted to challenge it or come to it, you know? So I feel like these kids need to be like, dude, I want to be a dog. I want to play for one of the best coaches in the country that is a grinder, a disciplinarian that knows how to win and also get you to the next level.
Hands down. No question about it.
You know, and succeed at the next level and in life.
I told you this the other day. I went out there 2 weeks ago on a Friday just to watch them. They were getting ready to scrimmage. And every time I bring the kids, like, and you've experienced this, when he sees the kids, Coach Batesel is beelines to you. He don't even want to talk to you. He just wants to give the kids knuckles, and
I'm not even there.
You know, so we were talking for just a few, and like I was telling you, like, for people that question anything about that, like, I would have loved to play for him. I mean, I may not have been tough enough. I've heard, you know, back in the day, he was a grinder, man, and he was hard to play for. But look at the results. But like in casual conversation, he'll say shit, dude, that I've never even thought about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, God, that like he just had a different motor up there. When it comes to baseball, you can't argue it. I know people may love him or hate him. Fantastic, phenomenal baseball mind, man. And you know firsthand.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
just with the hitting stuff alone.
I wish, you know, more than anything, you know, to talk to him and be able to talk hitting and to learn from him, you know, and that opportunity that I could have happened if I, you know, if my situation was better to be able to be on staff there would have been a dream come true. But I feel like I'm where I am right now at Fresno City, and me and Bates are still close, and I still talk to him, and I'll still pick his brain. I still want to know everything he has to offer with hitting and coaching in general. And but yeah, like you said, every time you talk to him, you learn something new that you're like, you didn't even think was possible. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
To him, it's just like a normal conversation. You know what I mean? It's not trying to say anything profound, but it's like, Jesus, it's like a Yoda almost. Back with the high school stuff, some more teams. I think Frontier's got a couple front end guys on the mound that I've heard are really good. But again, a depth as far as lineup goes, not too sure. Liberty, same thing. Heard Liberty's infield is maybe one of the best infields in the Valley, but not sure on the mound and depth lineup wise. They lost a little bit last year. It's going to be some good baseball. I think one team to look out for that nobody's really, and they're typically Division II with the playoff format. I don't know how it works this year, but I think Paso Robles is going to be pretty good, man. I would look out for Paso for sure. They were good last year and young. Bring back pretty much that entire group, and they're a horse on the mound. Reedley, hearing Reedley, hearing things about Reedley High School. There's Madera South's going to be a good club. Kerman, watch out for Kerman. Woody told me they scrimmaged. He said they were a very good baseball team. Again, CVC down in Visalia. Not sure what Redwood has. Heard some good things about Redwood, but just if you get out there and check these teams out, high school baseball is going full swing today. Again, I know some teams are playing tonight, so go ahead and check those schedules out. And then good luck to everybody. I know we got listeners in Sacramento, in Texas, and Colorado, and to all you guys, good luck this season. Keep us posted on your teams. We're hoping everybody stays healthy and has a good season. But moving on, brother, I was on Twitter the other day. And
you're not much on there anymore.
I know I'm not. I tried to be on there a little more recently in the last week or so. And some stuff got brought up from college baseball last weekend. And it was some of the gadgets being used. You got Vanderbilt using like a watch system. I think I saw Fresno State using the walkie-talkie stuff. I know Florida did that last year as most SEC schools were doing something. And a couple people were, I'm sure you guys are gonna have an opinion on this and thoughts on it. And I don't know what you feel about it. I could tell you, like, my opinion on it is I'm not really sure about it. I guess it depends on what level you're at. I'm not sure how prevalent it is or widespread as far as sign stealing goes in college baseball. But I mean, all the coaches that we know, they're pretty baseball savvy guys, like very, very, very smart baseball people. I mean, if they feel it necessary, I'm not going to question their motives behind it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, as far as high school goes, when I was first coaching and young, I used to try to do that all the time, pick signs and I was focused on that stuff. And I still, till this day or last year, would focus or look at tells, try to pick up a tell. Is there a tendency, something that they do, count wise, and you break down stuff, analytics, right?
Yeah.
But as I got older, I kind of stopped that part of it and put it on the players. Like, as a player in high school, that was one thing we prided our coach was like, hey, you guys pay attention to this stuff. You see something, and we would, as a coach in the last few years, our last 10, I would still look at tells and stuff like that. But I wouldn't pay so much attention to, coaches giving signs to the catchers or stuff like that. Because sometimes you guess wrong. You could be wrong, and it could hurt your team. Mm-hmm. And I know the wristband thing's been, calling out numbers and stuff has been
the wristband's been around for a while, though.
Well, and you guys use that, correct?
We use the wristbands for offense and our pitch calling and stuff. Besides my thing is, as a player, I wouldn't have wanted to wear the wristband because it didn't look cool, right? It got in the way of my tape or my arm sleeve or whatever. But I mean, I'm being honest.
That's good.
But it's easier. It's not going through signs, not worried about getting, because when we were at Madera and I was giving signs, sometimes I had to switch them up. Thornhill was really good at picking signs and having to change them throughout the game. And I think having to change them with these kids, I think that's tougher.
Yeah.
Than just calling out numbers and changing the card every game or every inning. And then the watch system first of all, back to the walkie-talkie thing. I love that. I think that's great. I think that should be all around baseball, the catcher wearing an earpiece and getting the signs. Obviously, Vanderbilt doesn't do that. They do the watch system. I haven't seen it. I don't know what it looks like.
I've seen the watch.
It looks like a smartwatch.
I don't know how quick it is. I don't know how. I mean, they also have a pitch clock, right? So I don't know how quick it's happening between pitches or how it works through an app or.
Well, he might say something,
maybe,
and then it
translated.
I don't know. Might say fastball 4 zone or fastball away or whatever.
I mean, high school, I don't think you're going to see it.
No, you won't see it in high school. You'll see wristbands in high school.
Yes,
but you won't see the walkie-talkie. You won't see the electric.
No, I don't think there's a need for that.
Money though.
I think, and like I said, it's the level, right? High school, there's no need for that. It would be ridiculous to see that. But in college, those games are televised.
Mm-hmm.
Teams are recording. I would imagine keeping stuff close to your vest is something that needs to happen. You play tons of video of teams in the conference.
Yeah.
You play a lot of guys a lot of times in multiple years. And I'm sure somebody's watching that stuff from those programs. So to me, in college baseball, it's not so ridiculous. And I know you and I talk about being old school or that old school kind of mentality and like some of the tech stuff. Listen, I'm not opposed to all of that. And neither of us are. I think a lot of people may have that impression that we are. But the wristwatches, I'm not sure on that. The walkie-talkies, I'm down for that. It's all new, it's still getting used to it. But I think, there's a lot of exceptional baseball minds, and especially at the college level.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are doing these things for a reason. I think the Astros kind of made this more happen in 2017. It's possible. It's possible to get stuff. And the one thing I'll say about it, and it's not that I'm not against it. It's that not all tech is created equal. Right. And regardless of the tech players have or the teams have, players still have to execute.
Mm-hmm.
Players still have to make plays, make pitches, batters still have to battle counts. You still have to play catch. There's a lot of things that have to happen for that tech to be, beneficial to you.
Yeah.
Right. And again, it goes back to some of the analytic things too. But I'm with you. I'm not so opposed to it. Again, in the MLB,
I mean, it really just looks stupid.
It does.
I mean, especially when a pitcher's got a big old wristband that covers his whole forearm.
I wouldn't want to wear a watch as a player.
I mean, see, I'd rather wear that.
This is an Apple Watch, so
because Vanderbilt, it was like that.
I thought it looked more like a Fitbit to me almost.
It wasn't huge.
No, it wasn't.
I'd rather wear that than a big old wristband that takes up my whole forearm. So, but that's just me. And I know a lot of guys. I know the players for Vanderbilt, they were wearing them on their belt, and some of our guys, they wear the wristband on their belt where they could just look down and see the numbers.
Now, do you guys
slide head first into it?
I know some guys change cards. They have multiple cards, so that's not always the same numbers. Do you guys? Well, I'm not going to, but is that something you've seen in the past? Teams have, they call out numbers and they have cards that, for 4 different sets that it never stays the same. So that way you're not always.
We legitimately have 9 sets.
Wow. Okay.
Because, Solberg's really good at it, changing it up every inning. Honestly, I think he changes it every inning. Our catcher comes in and they switch cards. So there's absolutely millions of possibilities for the numbers to be something, So, and we have, I think, 5 sets for hitting. So we'll change them up either game to game or like now we're playing Reedley. We'll have a different one every game. So it's just too hard to pick up those numbers. I mean, we've had guys write them down. You've had guys hear numbers. You write them down. You try to get that. There's so many different combinations. There's so many, they add a number that doesn't mean anything or, you know what I mean? So that's kind of, what it goes to now. It's just, sometimes it's annoying. Coach Scott's yelling out numbers all the time or, doing the hands and then yelling. He's got to 2 runners and a batter. Not annoying, but it's just like,
so I guess, is it worth it to look kind of stupid for the purpose of winning?
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it worth it to sound a little annoying sometimes calling out a number for the purpose of winning?
And sometimes I think though, like at our level, at the college level, I think in high school you get coaches more trying to pick other coaches. I don't think that happens a lot at our level. Because I've watched some of the other coaches give signs, and it's just, I don't know, you don't really pick anything up, I guess, at this level as much, or I don't know. And it could be simplified. Everything could mean nothing. And it could be the way he steps to the right, or, you know what I mean? It's like, it's so different.
Well, I know last year our signs, or my signs, were that, like,
well, you don't give them away.
No, well, they're not. They're not. He changed them. But yeah, our signs meant nothing. Everything I did sign wise meant nothing. We had basically 5 keys.
Yeah.
And it only took one of those keys and a wipe off. So everything, you touched on your body literally meant nothing.
Yeah.
And then we also incorporate verbals. So I just think being creative is great, and I'm all for it. The tech stuff's a little different. The walkie-talkie thing was like, what? Last year? I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, the SEC's been doing it for, I think, a couple years now.
Is it a couple? I know it's a new thing.
Big 12 or the Big 10. One other Power 5 started, maybe the Pac-12. They started doing it last year, but that SEC was first, and now I think everybody's can use that.
Yeah,
which I like. I think that's, if the pitcher if the coach can get the sign to him and not worry about numbers, not worry about, that's the dummiest dumb proof you can have, I think. Now, if everybody's wearing an earpiece in the field, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Have it set up to one walkie-talkie.
It's crazy.
I mean,
but
I wouldn't mind wearing an earpiece,
I mean, again, in Major League Baseball, the catchers typically run the game, so you're not going to see that kind of stuff there. So, but I guess I'm not opposed of it at all. I'm not going to say I doubt it, but it is tech. There's going to be moments of failures, I'm sure, and you're going to have a backup plan, which I'm sure all these guys do. Again, high school, no way. Ridiculous. College baseball, I think I understand why it would be needed. I could see that. I could justify that. So I don't have a big problem with it. But again, those guys are so deep in what it's not too much for or less than MLB as far as charting, analytics, and
everything's charted. And
that's kind of where I was going to, segue out of that. But, there was a little debate on Twitter the other night. Jeff Fry had posted something. I don't remember exactly what the original tweet was, but it had to do with obviously analytics. And he is, Jeff Fry, if you've checked out his Twitter, is not a big analytic guy, or not opposed. I don't know. I don't really know. I just don't think
analytics were around
sold
even when he played. I think
that's the point.
I think
it's
people
not new.
Are emphasizing certain analytics and saying that's what the game is. That's what wins a game. That's what makes a player better. And there are some that do and some that don't, but everybody's different and take different analytics and different, like Luplo's a hot zone guy. He doesn't care about the other kind of stuff of analytics. And, it's everybody has their own thing.
He may be
when
different
Jeff
now.
Fry played, they had, I know for a fact they had pitch counts and what guys threw in each count. I mean, you go back to Eckersley and Gibson said that he knew 3-1 he throws slider because they've have that. That's an analytic.
Yeah, they have those tendencies. I mean,
back in 80, was it 85, 88?
Yeah.
He had a tendency that he did those 3-1 sliders to lefties. Well, he got a 3-1 slider and hit it out the park. So, I mean, analytics have been around. I think that we're just emphasizing,
and I think
different
the extent too.
It's too much.
You can
it's too much
position a guy to the inch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that's fine. You can position the guy to the inch per the analytics, but the pitcher still has to locate, and I guess that's the thing. Like, I'm naive to it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Are these guys tracking like if this is the location of the pitch and this count and this pitch, he hits the ball here this amount of times or this percentage of times, and so we need to play here. Like, is it that in depth? I mean, I'm assuming it is.
I'm sure it is.
Like, to me, that's nuts.
Well,
Like,
that's why they have some nerd that's never played baseball before doing the numbers.
So the tweet said something about it, and it was about employing, analytic guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I just tweeted back. He said somebody commented, analytics won the Dodgers the World Series in 2020. And I just tweeted, I could have sworn the players won the World Series for the Dodgers. And then somebody countered with, well, analytics lost the World Series for the Tampa Bay Rays. And, or the players lost the World Series for the Tampa Bay Rays. And I just like, that's how it works. The players play the game.
Mm-hmm.
The players hit the balls. The players throw the ball. They field the ball. They run the bases. They play deep like that. That's all. The players do all that. The players, we don't have a computer out there on the mound doing anything, do we?
No.
The players win the games. My comment was, you don't hear a player in a post-game press conference go out there and say, man, our analytics weren't good tonight. Didn't have their best stuff. You ever heard a player say that?
No.
Why?
Because is
my
that a trick question? You got
no,
like I didn't.
No,
how do I answer that?
It's
just like
we didn't have our best stuff tonight. We didn't play well tonight.
Yeah, no. I mean, you've never even heard a player say, "Yeah, our analytics were saying he was going to pitch this way and he didn't." You've never heard anybody say that, even. You know what I mean? Like,
they're trying to predict the outcomes, and I get that. And the more information you have, the better you can position yourself to win.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, to live and die by that, I could never play that way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fit in Major League Baseball.
As a coach, and we've coached for a long time, but not as long as a lot of people out there. But to look at somebody's eyes and see if it's inside them, or go out and talk to a pitcher and see if he's got it, or talk to a hitter about an at bat or an upcoming at bat, and just believe in the human being. I think we are kind of underestimating a human being and how tough they can be and how mentally strong they can be, where let's just make decisions for them. I think that's what we're getting into, is these analytics are making decisions for human beings rather than allowing them to be human, what we're supposed to be.
Well,
we make mistakes,
and that's what
we
makes
make decisions
the
that are
game
bad.
fun.
We make decisions that are good. I want Cash to say that was my decision to take out Snell, not a plan we had because the analytics were telling us,
or because it's what we've done all year.
Yeah, like he's blowing through these guys. That's my dude. I'm going with my dude, and if I lose, I lost with my dude on the mound. There's nothing wrong with that decision.
No, not at all. And that's what I was thinking. Like, so what did I like talking about last year because we won. But what do you think the analytics said last year when a 15-15 or 15-14 went and played a 25-3? Do you think the analytics were in Madera's favor or in Arroyo's favor?
Probably Madera's.
You're right.
No, yeah.
What did the analytics say in 2008 when the Fresno State Bulldogs went to Omaha?
Well,
or
not
the,
even
or
that,
the 6
or the
weeks,
regional,
or the 6 weeks prior to that. What did the analytics say? What did the analytics say in 2004 when the Red Sox were down 3-0 and the Patriots in Super Bowl 2016 were down to the Falcons
3 or something like that,
or the Astros down to the Dodgers and had to win 2 on the road?
Yeah, but they cheated.
Mm-hmm. The Braves, flip that. The Braves in 2020 were up 3-1 and lost. What do the analytics say about that? We can't live and die by these things.
Mm-hmm.
That's just part. I mean, the list can go on and on. We can keep going if you want, of naming things where the analytics probably said something different. But human beings are amazing. And all these guys found a way to prove all these analytics wrong.
Mm-hmm.
When it says, well, this is over. Obviously not. It says these guys don't have a chance. Obviously not. So that's my thing, is to live and die by it. And I think you said it great too. You're creating robots. You got the best players in the world for the most part. Let them play. Let them play.
Yeah.
Let them really show you what they're capable of. And that's my point with analytics. I don't think they're bad. I do think they help people win.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how these guys live and die. And to me, that's not a fun game to watch. And it hasn't been. One of the things we saw recently, I'm sure you saw the tweet, was with what's his face, Joey Gallo, talking about, what did he say about hitting doubles? I got it here. Something about, if you want to see me hit doubles, here you go. I think at some point you have to fix the game a little bit. I don't understand how I'm supposed to hit a double or triple when I have 6 guys standing in the outfield.
Well, you're not supposed to hit a double or triple. You're supposed to get on base. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
You're supposed to get on base. In order to get on base, you have to get a hit. In order to score runs, you have to get on base. So if you're worried about hitting a double or a triple or a home run, and you can't do it because there's so many guys in the outfield, then get on base. Start drag bunting. Start getting on any way you can to get on base. And I know that big leagues are such a different level of athlete and strength and consistency. And that's why I harp at our level, especially in junior colleges, really emphasizing that we have to get on base to score runs. We have to score runs to win games. We can't rely on a home run. We don't have guys that are hitting home runs all the time and rely on that. We need to get on base any way we can, whether we, have to drag bunt, push bunt, get hit by a pitch, work a walk. That's why I really emphasize striking out is it's not a good thing. It's a free out. They had to do absolutely nothing as a team to get you out. I mean, obviously the pitcher got you out, but I mean, I'm talking about as a team. If you hit a ground ball, somebody's got to field it, somebody's got to throw it, somebody's got to catch it. There's so many chances that can go wrong.
Yeah.
So
that goes from the big leagues all the way down to your 7.
It does go to the big leagues.
7U.
Yeah, there's travel ball 7U now. I just saw a thing saying 7U travel ball tryouts, and I'm like, CJ's 6, so he'd be at a 7U. The dude could barely catch a damn ball, and I think CJ is pretty good for his age.
Yeah,
on athleticism.
I would agree with you. Yeah,
and but he could barely catch a ball, and there's 7U tryouts. What are we doing? What are we doing to these kids? Why are we trying to make money off of these kids that need to learn the game? What's wrong with playing
at 7 years old? You don't need to be playing a bunch of travel.
What's wrong with Little League?
Yeah, play Little League.
What's wrong with Little League?
Go play Little League.
Why do you have to go play travel ball?
Go play.
Central has Little League. Bullard has Little League. River Park Little League for Clovis. I know Visalia has Little League.
We got Madera's got Little
League. What is wrong with Little League?
Nothing.
What? Because you want to go put a dream team together and play and beat everybody? That's not what it's about. I want to play baseball with my friend that's not good at baseball. He's not good at sports, but that's my best friend.
Yeah, we just want to go play.
I want to go play. I want to have fun. I don't care if we win or lose.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn. And at 7, I'm not.
7U, bro.
Yeah, I know. I'm not sold on that there, but I mean, so, and then you're talking just about the Gallo stuff. And then even that goes into the analytics. Like, they shift for that reason. It's like there's more than one way.
Hit away from the shift.
Dude, it's never been easier to get somebody out.
Have you seen a Gallo at bat where they shift everybody? Where do they pitch him still? Away. They pitch him away. They shift him to pull, and they pitch him away.
They're giving him half the field.
So drive the ball away.
Yeah, they're giving you half the field. But again, that goes back to what you're
6'6", 250 pounds. You can hit the ball out the other way.
Yes, you should be.
I know from experience. You can hit the ball out the other way.
But that's what goes back to you saying, be a complete hitter. That's what these young kids need to understand. Be a complete hitter.
Be a complete hitter, then they won't shift you.
That we've talked about this numerous times too about LeMahieu. Like, you can't shift that guy.
No.
Be a guy that you can't shift. Go be a complete hitter.
Yeah.
It's never been easier to get a guy out. Right? I mean, it's easy to get guys out.
It's easy to get guys out.
And in that scenario, like, you don't have to shift. You could pitch a guy different. Right? What did we say? You could walk a guy to get a guy out, right? How many times have you seen an intentional walk turn into double play? Mm-hmm. We got that guy out. We didn't have to pitch to him.
Yep.
And he didn't do any damage. That goes with the analytics too. You don't always have to do what they tell you to do. He's what, a 200 hitter, 199 hitter, 206.
I mean, he's flirting around the Mendoza line. So
they were talking about changing it to the Gallo line. That's what I heard.
And don't get me wrong. He's a big leaguer. He could be an absolutely great hitter if he just took what they give you. Take what they give you.
Yeah.
If they're going to give me a single to left field, I'm going to take a single to left field. But guess what? If they're going to throw me away, I'm going to try to hit the ball out away. If I'm that guy, if I'm Gallo, why am I going to try to pull that pitch, try to hit a homer or a double pull side? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, at that level, as powerful and strong as that guy is, he can hit the ball out anywhere he wants.
So what does he want? Like, that was my question. Like, what do you want? And like, I thought Pat Ware had some pretty good comments on it.
Well, that's why you see Judge getting shift.
No.
Yeah, because you can't fit 8 guys in the stands. I mean, he hits the ball all over the place.
He does. I know his strikeout numbers were really high when he first came up.
They are high.
And I think he was at 37% K rate, but I think it's come down a little bit. I mean, his K's numbers have gone down some, but you're right. He can hit the ball out anywhere.
Yeah.
He can hit the ball anywhere.
Yeah.
He doesn't try to limit himself to that. And I mean, I'm just saying, what is Gallo? You want a ball on T? What do you want?
No, it's just an excuse.
And I know we've talked about the shift, maybe making some adjustments to it, not eliminating it completely.
Like the shortstop can't go on the other side of the second base.
Right.
The second baseman can't go on the other side of second base.
Keep him on the grass or in the dirt. You can put them over there, but they both have to stay on the dirt. You can't have them in the outfield grass. Something, just saying stuff just to be creative, to change it a little bit. But
or learn how to hit.
Ultimately.
Which is a lost art.
And the guy's going to get paid still.
Yeah.
I saw that stat. Was it 7-year career, 2 sack flies? That's hard to do too.
That is ridiculous. I mean, you do that by accident.
2 sack flies by accident. It's 100% true.
2 sack flies in 7 years.
That's what it said. I should probably.
How many guys have been on third base in his career with less than 2 outs?
Probably a few.
Jeez.
But so again, talking about that, and you and I had this conversation, and we'll wrap it up here pretty soon. But the 2-strike mentality, carrying the pitches to the, how many guys carry a bad call strike
to the next pitch,
and it turns in that's what turned into a strikeout.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, I'm obviously guilty of it, in my career doing that.
Well, we all are.
It's really hard. We all are. It's really hard, being a coach that's gone through it, to try to teach not to do that, because, we've all been immature and do that stuff. But that's why I try to really harp on it. Like, dude, move on. You get 3, you take a bad pitch. Hey, you got 2 more. Like, if you can just be able to move on and be like, I'm good, I'm okay, and I get to battle. I can battle with 2 strikes. I can, trust my swing, trust my abilities, trust everything I've worked on to get, in this position to succeed with 2 strikes. I think it's key. And I think that, a lot of people just see 2-0 hacks in the big leagues and guys striking out, and everybody thinks it's okay now. Like, it's okay to strike out, when it's really not, because you aren't doing anything for your team. Like, we had 28 strikeouts at Sac City, right? We also won 5-0 and 11-5, but we had 28 strikeouts. That is one more out than a 9-inning game. So we literally struck out a full game plus an out in 2 games. So you're giving 28 outs away for free. That's just what I can't get it. I can't grasp. And I've said this a bunch, you know, I had my share of strikeouts, but I hated striking out. And I was okay just putting the ball in play and trying to do something.
I mean, I wonder what percentage of those strikeouts could have equated into runs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure your starting pitchers don't like to see a 10 strikeout game in a 4-3 loss.
No,
and I'm sure hitters don't look at it that way. Maybe in the big leagues they do. But I mean, if I'm a hitter, and I'm not saying your team doesn't. I'm just saying in general, right? I'm sure a lot of kids, especially in high school, they're not thinking, man, we struck out 10 times today. We didn't help our pitcher in a 1-run loss.
Yeah.
They're not at home looking at it that way. And you should be.
You should be.
Right? Because listen, and the umpires, right? Even good umpires are going to make some bad calls.
Mm-hmm.
Right? To allow that bad call to affect the next pitch, that's not a tough dude.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to move on. You got to be tougher than that. That's how you get out of the lineup. You know, and I would encourage coaches, if you're in a machine, and we talked about this the other day, you know, pitching and hitting. If you're got your guys hitting off live pitching and you're umping behind the mound or wherever you're umpiring, make a bad call. You know what I mean? Make a bad call. Call a ball a strike. Let's see what your hitters do. See what he's made of. And vice versa. Yeah. Call a strike a ball on your pitcher. See if he can, bow up and make the next pitch. Just do it. Just challenge your guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you should be doing more of that stuff. And then you can talk about why I did it on purpose. And you can tell them I did it on purpose. I wanted to see how you responded. Did you pass the test or they fail the test? And then next week, do it again. See if they pass the test or fail the test.
Yeah.
You know, this is what we're supposed to be doing as coaches. And I'm sure a lot of coaches do that. But I just don't like seeing kids take it, you know, from the one pitch to the next pitch and then take it on defense.
Yeah. You
see big leaguers, and maybe they on the inside they are, I don't know. But for the most part, you don't see those guys. They can't afford to.
Yeah.
Right. Because they play tomorrow. I gotta be ready to go tomorrow. I can't be thinking about yesterday. I'm thinking about yesterday. I'm not going to be doing great today. Like we've said before, it's hard to walk a straight line with your head looking backwards.
Yeah.
You just got to keep going forward. So yeah, little 2-strike mentality there for all you people listening. I want to end it with this. I was going through some YouTube stuff, just messing around, looking at videos, and I came across a little documentary type deal, or I'm not sure what it is really, but it's called Uneven, College Baseball Scholarship Issue, and it's on YouTube. And I'll tweet out the link and put it on Instagram. It's like 45 minutes long. It's really good. Really good. And it talks about the fairness of baseball scholarships versus softball and other sports and how it works and some of the conversations being had and how Title IX works. It's really good for parents of young kids looking to play any sport really at the next level. It's definitely worth watching. Again, it's called Uneven, College Baseball Scholarship Issue. I might go watch it again because I'm sure I missed some stuff. But there's a great quote in there too. Rick Cleveland of the Sun Herald said lacrosse teams are allowed 12.6 scholarships. Ice hockey teams get 18. Women's equestrian gets 15. Baseball, considering how big it's become, gets screwed. And it's enough to make you irritated. I think softball gets 12, right? And has less players. So I know some of the debate is, well, if baseball does it, softball's got to do it. I mean, technically softball has more to spend. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but realistically, the roster size for softball is smaller. But definitely worth going to see.
Well, you don't need 14 pitchers.
No, you don't.
You need 2.
Yeah, you don't need
3.
It doesn't.
Or 1.
Yeah, I think baseball, the average roster, it said it was 35.
I think
36.
college is 35
And up to this year, I think you can roster 40 guys. You can have a 40-man roster.
with 11.6 scholarships.
I think you can only scholarship up to 36. It's a weird rule. I'd have to go read it again, but it's definitely worth going to see or watching. Again, it's on YouTube. It's called Uneven. It is pretty good, man. We'll tweet it out tonight and get it to everybody. Again, Saturday, you got the Reedley Tigers coming to Fresno City to take on the Rams, and Fresno State is down south, and I think they're going to be on the radio, so you can check that out on Fox Sports there. Anything else, my brother? We good?
We're good.
Thanks, everybody. I know we've been taking a week or two off here and there, and we're doing our best to get shows out. Please bear with us. We'll keep putting out stuff, and go watch some college baseball. Go watch some high school baseball, some JUCO baseball. And we just want to say thanks for listening to the Hit.OR.DIE podcast. That's episode 49.
Hit or die.
Hit or die.
Hit or die.